Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. Yet again, we have another presidential election and one still pending. I don't think I've mentioned this, but just to get it over the way, the idea is Daniel Chapo is the going to be the next president. He has been proclaimed by the said Mozambican press in Mozambique. But for some reason, there is growing discontent and unsteadiness and unsureness that Daniel Chapo is going to be the said leader. Let's remember, I think we got the parliamentary results done, but in regards to the president, I'm guessing I haven't been really following this election that well, other than they seem to have a bit of a dispute. There is a big dispute going on with Renamo and Frelimo, which are Renamo is accusing election fraud. I'm not surprised because Frelimo has such a grip in Mozambique's elections. So in regards to, and I'm just saying, ideally, Frelimo's going to win. I mean, since the 70s, Frelimo has controlled the whole entire country, and Renamo has very little influence. So I'm saying I'm going to recognize Daniel Chapo as kind of the winner. I think he kind of rigged it. It very well could have been rigged, but I think the damage was already done. But we're going to go ahead, and we're not covering this election until we learn furthermore of the details. So much to my growing discontent, but the understanding, I'm hoping, will take effect after this video. But we got to take a look at Uruguay. And Uruguay, of course, is in Latin America, South America, and they just had their election, which is now going into a runoff, which will be held on November 24th, 2024, okay? And the first round is kind of interesting, okay? I did not mean to put this. All right, yes. And it seems that the I wouldn't say ruling party, the opposition party, and that is the Broad Front, is in the lead and in overwhelming favor to win. I mean, it cannot be this big of a win for them because they're going into a landslide. They're going into a landslide according to the polls. And if the Broad Front said, or the MPP, I think, yes, Movement of Popular Participation, is really in the said lead, Yamandu Orsi is really winning by a lot. This race would have been called unanimously, but it wasn't, and this race is going into a second round. Good news for the conservative ruling party, the National Party, led by Alvaro Delgado. And yeah, very good news because he was supposed to lose by a lot. I mean, look at here. You'll see close race by 2021, but it seems that the left has always had a overwhelming lead. That overwhelming lead has grown in 2024, as ever since July, the PN has taken a nosedive here. And you'll see not good news. And let's see, the PN is the ruling party is, of course, the ruling party. Yes, center right. It's been, I want to believe, yeah, I thought it was known as the Blancos for a little bit, but historical 1836. Yeah, they're the Blancos. They were formerly known as the Blanco Party, and they participated in what became known as the Uruguayan Civil War. You'll see the Uruguayan Civil War was a war fought between the Blancos, which, as you know, today is known as the National Party, and the Colorados, which is a liberal centrist political party. And this conflict resulted to a Colorado victory. So, yes, you'll see it's not a surprise at all that political parties in Latin America have participated in civil wars. Uruguay is one of them. But yes, you'll see, despite losing the civil war, national parties still existed, and they are no longer known as the Blancos anymore. So yes, national party, tons of history, huge historical presence, but yeah, they're going down. They're going down pretty overwhelmingly. Let's see. I want to read a little bit about this beginning paragraph and understand the background of uh, the said situation in Paraguay. General elections were held in Uruguay on the 27th of October 2024. Since no presidential candidate received the majority in the first round of voting, a runoff will take place on the 24th of November 2024, pitting Yamandu Ursi of the Broad Front against Alvaro Delgado of the Multicolor Coalition, as you know, is teaming up with the PN, or historically known as the Blanco Party. The election also coincided with two constitutional referenda, or referendums, on reforms to the social security system that would lower the retirement age, increase payouts, and transfer privately managed savings to a state-run trust, and allowing for nighttime police raids in homes. Interesting how those ballot measures will turn out. Background of this, I'm going to see here. Incumbent President Luis Lacalle Pou, who won the 2019 elections, cannot run again as the Constitution bars a president from immediate re-election. So, fun fact, you can't run for re-election in Uruguay. You serve one term and only one term in Uruguay. So, good news if Yamandu Ursi happens to win this election. It really looks like he will, what it's looking like right now, unless the PN pulls I would say, a miracle lance. I would say an upset in this point. It seems as if Ursi will win, and he will be only barred, of course, for one term. He cannot run again in 2029. So I know 2029 is just so far away. As a result, the governing National Party has to nominate a new candidate. Lacalle Pou took office in 2020, heading the Multicolor Coalition, a big tent political alliance formed after the October 2019 first round that remains active in the 2024 elections under the name Republican Coalition. His cabinet is composed of leaders from the member parties of the coalition, which holds a majority in both chambers of parliament, allowing it to push through various legislative initiatives despite the broad front of opposition. During the period from 2020 to 2024, the government of Luis Lacalle Pou has faced various controversies and challenges. These have included issues related to the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, which is over. I don't know why they're still mad about it. Economic policies, corruption scandals, and social issues such as education reform and security. So yeah, I guess COVID-19 is not the only contributor, but there are a list of scandals and social issues. So yeah, and of course that does explain why the FA is doing overwhelmingly very well. And yeah, look at this. You'll see FA, the presidential primary. Yeah, you got these polls. The FA is winning double-digit amount of polls. Yeah, it's just not looking good for the right at all. So yes, and to be honest, Uruguay has always been somewhat of a progressive country. You'll see this is the current president, National Party. Yeah, you got him. Presidential first round. But yes, the 2014 Uruguayan general election, Taber, yes, you see, this is the 2014. The Broad Front had their presidential candidate, Taber Vaquez, who came from the Broad Front. And, of course, interestingly enough, he defeated the future president, and he won in a landslide. This is the left-wing candidate, and you'll see the right-wing candidate. But yeah. Then you got the Broad Front again, the previous president before Vasquez. And this is Jose Majica, who comes from the Broad Front. Also, no real election map, but he wins by a 9-point margin. Yeah, you'll see the Broad Front has a more history of winning. You'll see the Colorado Party is back. Is still alive, actually. But yeah, this is the more centrist political party. I want to believe during the Civil War it was more liberal. That's my opinion. I think it was more liberal because usually you don't stay a centrist political party throughout your whole entire history. You change because the GOP in the United States was created as a left-wing political party. That wasn't really added in Wikipedia. I mean, and of course now it's a right-wing political party. It changes. It does depend on politics in the United States. But that's how every political party seems to work. But anyway, other than that said, there's nothing really else to talk about other than it looks like the inevitable here. Alvaro de Gallo and the PN seems to be overperforming expectations, according to what the polls are saying. But in my opinion, it would be a miracle if the PN ends up winning this election. There just seems to be so much backlash and resentment to this political party, not to mention previous left-wing wins. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. And as always, I will see you all in the next political episode.